What's good, man? It's your boy Carlito Grid, man. Shit. Hope you have a grateful day. And, shout out to my Wakeful folks, man. I'm a little stuffy right now. Allergies, around that season. But, let's talk about, what's important right now. And that's job season. You know, March is ending. April, man. Third week of April, Thursday. I'm gonna just, no one called my phone, no one bothered me. I'm good, I watched the whole draft, so, I've been doing this since I was a kid. So, it's it's like a holiday for me. But, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, Of course, we're gonna have my co-host, Frankie, on in a bit, so we just, give me a little intro, you know, what I'm grateful for today, just waking me up, just God waking me up, giving me another opportunity to do this show, I'm so flattered that Abs and Jim is just a supportive team, and it's just, word of the day, support. I feel like, we kind of lack support of each other, and you know what? I know everyone has their everyday life, life getting in the way with, supporting each other, and, but some people just don't want to support, and they kind of envy that we're doing this, and, you know, if you do envy me, or, just hate what I'm doing or whatever, just know that I love y'all, and, I don't have a hater bone in my body. I do this, for the unheard. I do this for the sleepers. I do this, for the unappreciated. Like I, say, I'm always going to say that, this is for the underdogs. Do I want to support? Yeah, of course I do. It's important to me. It should be important to everyone that to have a good support system. But sometimes that's not the case. But Jim, Abs, that's good enough for me. They're giving me this platform to, you know, to speak my views, to just, just vibe with y'all, in front of this camera. I hope, when y'all watch this, I hope, just give me feedback, man. What I gotta do to get better. Tell me what should I talk about, I'll talk about it. It can be anything, I'm not shying away from anything, even if, bad comments come our way. But, that's the internet for you, it's 50-50. It's good or bad. And it's life too, man. I give a fuck about this social media shit. I'm dope in real life. You know what I mean? People who know me, they know. And but at the same time, if you do support me quietly, let me know, man. I really do certainly appreciate that. I want to do a give back, giveaway and stuff. I'm dropping the new Gritter's Hope tee, and I'm gonna be dropping some new Gritter Hope polos too as well. So, I'm gonna do a giveaway, and maybe hopefully a lot of people could jump on board and see what I'm about, you know. And it's just shout out to all the supporters out there that do support though, you know what I mean? That I don't see, man, I do appreciate y'all, and the way y'all showed out, my last batch that I dropped them for the Greatest Hope, I appreciate that so much. I really do. And I just wanted to put that out there because it's not just for the money. It's just, it's a lifestyle, you know what I mean? I'm here to give the greatest hope, and, the greatest hope is not just me, it's God, because He's giving us hope every day, and I know for a fact that, I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. And, and the grit, it don't stop. And, I adore doing the show and giving my life once a week just to do this show. And, I'm all in. You know what I mean? So this whole year, man, y'all gonna see my faces, and I know the lack of likes, we get. I know this, but it's okay. I know there's more views than likes, but you know, hey, that's the regular. It is what it is. But y'all come, intervene with us, man. You know what I mean? Chop it up, hit our DMs. You know, talk to me. I talk back. Like if y'all want to do business, I'm always down to do business. Whatever it is, y'all want want an interview, from me. I would love to interview people just like how Jim do. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, maybe one day I'll be on Taco Tuesday interviewing somebody. You know what I mean? Who knows? But I know Jim's up for that, and but yeah, man, I'm just grateful, just the support system I have, and shout out to my co-host that be coming on, the last four weeks, Frankie, man, he's been killing it, hopefully, you know, he's in school right now, so hopefully one day he comes aboard, and he's right there, he's right here beside me, and what I mean, so we could really go at it, with this sport debate shit, But yeah, man, that's all I really want to, start the intro. Just, you know, and I know how people is, support the people who support you, but I support the slept on, like I said, and if you really do support me, man, you won't regret it. I mean, I'll go hard and I'll try my best every day to give good content for y'all, and just good, just good clothes, because that's what I truly want to do, just be a factor in that, and you know, I thank God for everything, man. It's unbelievable the publicity he has me in, it's a beautiful struggle, because at the end, it's gonna be beautiful, man, and like I said, nothing's gonna get in my way other than myself. You know, this is I want longevity in this. I want, you know, big Tom Brady. That's my goal. Just like everyone will, wants to be. But yeah, man, we're gonna, take a little break, and we gonna get Frankie on right now. But I just want to let y'all know that, man, I truly appreciate y'all. You know what I mean, for fucking with me, and keep fucking with me, man. Y'all ain't gonna regret it, man. There's a lot of shit that you know we gonna go forward, with this, and once you part of the team, what I mean, it's not gonna. You're gonna see it's a we thing, not a me thing. You know what I mean? Everyone gets love here. It's not just one player you know that makes the team. So I just want some good teammates, and I got some good teammates with by my side. Shout out to Drew Mobby, my brother, man. Still doing it. So hopefully one of the days, he slides and he hops on another episode. But like I said, we're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna get Frankie on right now. Thank y'all. Yo, we back. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to my co-host, man. Frankie, what's good, bro?
What's up with it, brother? How you
Hey,
doing?
man, we back with another one, man. You know what I mean? Let's get it. I mean,
Hey, I'm ready to rock and roll.
I know you are, man. Shit, man. Say it with your chest, bro. What we talking about? I want you to take the lead off hit. What's good?
So for me, what's kind of like jumping out, feel like it's a good topic to get into is what Cam Scatterbo was saying about CTE and all
Yeah.
that.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a little touchy subject right now. You know what I mean? In the football world. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
most definitely. These guys are out there like they're putting they get well compensated. Don't get me wrong, but these guys are, putting themselves on the line for our entertainment. You know what I mean?
You know,
It's a product at
yeah,
the end of
yeah,
the day.
yeah.
The NFL sells,
I guess
the better.
we're onks now. I guess our age group. We're still young, but they're not in that age. Group and shit. And I feel like they really don't have no understanding. They just like to blurt shit out. Without really thinking and without kind of being sincere. 'Cause that's a serious issue, man. It's kind of fucked up. Like I seen Jared McCoy former defensive tackle from the Buccaneers. He talked about his old teammates, Vincent Jackson. Doug Martin. You know, that shit's real, bro. Like you seen the movie, right? That Will Smith
Yeah,
movie.
Will
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Like great Mike Webster. The center for the Steelers from the '70s, Hall of Famer. Like look what he went through, bro.
And then the list just goes on and on, bro.
Yeah, bro. You see Puka. Look at the shit he's doing, man. Doing just low key being reckless. You know what I mean? Talking reckless too. And like I said, man, we know we're not that much older than them, but we are older than them, and we I feel like we kind of. I'm gonna think before I say some stuff, especially touchy topic like that, and it just come on, man. Talking like that, you're kind of putting a what's it called, on your back, a target on your back. I feel like dude's gonna want to give you CTE, talking reckless like that.
On top of that, I kind of feel like, you're being disrespectful to the game.
Yeah, saying that it's an excuse. I mean, you're gonna say Junior Shea Hall, rest in peace. You know what I mean? You don't think you're gonna call that dude soft? That dude would
Took
knock
the words right out of.
that dude would knock your shit down if he was playing right now. You know, I like both what Cap, Scalaboo. I do too. I mean, but you can't be talking reckless like that, man. Trying to be cool, and I feel like that's just all they really trying to do, is just trying to be cool. I mean, show out, just say some crazy shit, saying asthma too is, that you're weak if you have asthma, shit. I mean, I ain't weak. I had asthma when I was a kid. I mean, it's better now, but it's just like, I know how it feels to be, that inhaler, bro. It's just no joke, bro.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely.
But you think Puka's gonna, we can go back to Puka. You think he's gonna get that contract right after his contract's up with the Rams? Or you think that the Rams are kind of just gonna second guess and should this guy get this money?
He's still going to get his contract, bro.
Yeah,
It's just going to get affected by his, off-field antics. The same thing with Jordan Addison.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
Because
I
what
don't
goes
think
into
he's
the
getting the
play too is
fifth year option.
like social media,
Yeah,
like the owners and everything. They understand what these guys do on their off time and all that. Because a lot of that wildness is just for like clickbait and stuff like that.
yeah,
But
man.
you're gonna have to pay the price.
Exactly, man. Like that really, it's really. I think going to clubs, man, is so overrated, bro. You know what I mean? It's not like how it used to be no more. I mean, it's because everyone has phones now. And everyone's just recording shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all they're really fucking doing. You're just wasting your money on some shit that you can fucking go to the local liquor store and just go chill at home. You feel me? Not waste no money like that. Be like Kenneth Walker. Just chill, man. Like it's just it don't do nothing for you. It's just overrated, man. It just drain your pockets, just, get you in trouble, shit like this. You know what I mean? You see the video, him all slumped, at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning type shit. Like, come on, man. They don't want, their star wide receiver, looking like that when you're supposed to, be a role model to these kids. It's not how, like, how was in the 90s and, before that, they can really literally do whatever they want. Now you got a camera on you 24/7. You got a noticeable face. They're gonna, what I mean, whip that camera out, hella fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
absolutely,
no
bro.
private,
And
no privacy, bro. And now, you should be mindful. Like nowadays, as a professional athlete, like, fuck, there's a camera on me, somewhere. You know what I mean? You know, just stay mindful, man. You know what I mean? You getting watched, so it's just, and anything you do, people just gonna judge you, good or bad.
absolutely.
But yeah, man. But yeah, Cam man is really, you know what I mean. Plus, he don't really know the game, bro. There's a one video he was rigged last year. They were saying, "Who's this? Who's that?" Showing old players. He didn't even know who the fuck they were, bro. So it's just like, how do you not know the history? You know what I mean? Like, he don't really know nothing, bro, about, the past of football. So, I'm gonna give him a pass, but then again, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, bro. There's a target on your shit now. People are gonna try to give you that shit now. There's still mean motherfuckers in the league, bro. Ready to, shit,
Yeah. On top of that, his play style already makes him a target before he even
Oh
said
yeah.
any of this.
No, for sure. Yeah. You know.
I just don't understand. Like, I understand good clickbait and all that, especially since he
Yeah.
streams. He wants to create those controversial conversations and all that. But as somebody that obviously has it, how you gonna go and say that?
Yeah. No, I know, bro. I mean, he's still rookie, man. I mean, he's still young, in his career, bro. And he apologized, and that's with me, man. I'm dude. If someone apologized, bro, about shit, okay, he apologized, man. Let's move on. But a lot of people can't forgive, nah, it's too, It just, like, just be mindful, bro. What you trying to get your point across, especially, shit like that. Like, you now people are gonna, just constantly just, you know, hit you on your DMs and just, talk, talk shit to you, which they probably already do, but but come on, man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, bro, it's I feel like part of that has to do with the history.
Yeah,
Like if you learn the history and you know what your predecessors have gone through and all that.
yeah, man. It's a war, bro. You know what I mean? It wasn't no fucking, what it is now. It's still war. You
Yeah,
feel me? But they kind of just, you know, soften it up. If that's the word. But quarterbacks, bro. Now
yeah,
they got it easy, bro. Let's be honest. Back then, quarterbacks, man, they're running for their lives, bro.
and see that's the thing
They,
too is like I feel like the NFL had to do that to bring an audience.
yeah,
Because imagine the NFL first starting out, and then they have all the rules of today that they have now that protected the players.
yeah,
Nobody would have watched it,
yeah,
And then once the audience grew, like they were able to do stuff. Okay, now we don't need this brutality anymore. We can start to protect these people because now you have your viewership, and then the
yeah.
sponsors coming in and
Sponsorship,
everything.
yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a, a viable product got created. You know.
They're trying to
and
protect it
it's
by
just
by any means, especially when CTE comes up. They kind of they're so quick to no, well, we changed the game, so less players won't get that. You know what I mean? As we
oh,
proceed and huh?
it's a dangerous game no matter
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
bro. It's
yeah.
gonna happen still.
I mean, look at Doug Martin,
And
man. I
then
seen that video, bro, when he got arrested in Oakland, and and he's a Stockton native too. You know, I always seen Doug Martin. What I seen on TV, and he's just little interviews. Just a quiet guy. I remember he was in the Raiders one year too. And just soft spoken but well spoken type of dude. You know what I mean? And what I seen in the video, that's some mental health, stuff right there. And I mean, he's a running back. He's a small running back too. So I'm pretty sure that he got a lot of hits on his head, and maybe could be CTE. What I seen on the video. You know what I mean? Because he never really act like that, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you brought him up earlier, Junior Seau, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, in his note, before he offed himself,
Yeah. Yeah.
he shot himself purposely so they could study his brain.
It's crazy, man.
Like
Just
that should that should tell you everything right there. Like
yeah.
this guy knew what was going on. He knew he wasn't right.
But
And
and he knew he was loved, bro. But just he couldn't take it no more, bro. Just you're one of the best linebackers. I'd say top 10, easy. You know.
yeah, if you look up the CTE,
Yeah.
bro, and the part of the brain that it affects the most, it's the one about like because you see these players they start doing this off the chain stuff.
Yeah.
You know, basically the part of the brain that your thoughts filter through that it stops you from doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Junior Seau, he offed himself to protect the people around him that he loves,
Yeah.
not
No.
because he was
For
like
sure, bro.
depressed or anything like that. Because dude was having these intrusive thoughts, like, and they were going to become actions.
You know
And it's not just football.
that's crazy. Everyone comes out with stupid thoughts, right? Some crazy shit in your head. Like, what the fuck? Why am I thinking that? But you know, what dudes like me and you, we tend to just shake that off. Like, that's not me. You know what I mean? It's just like your inner demons. But what I mean? With Junior Seau, it was just constantly there. You know what I mean? Like everyone, documentary. Everyone by his side, he say that he'll have these mood swings, like out of nowhere, and it just imagine that, just your inner demon just constantly what you throughout your whole day won't leave you the fuck alone. You know what I mean? He getting headaches. You know what I mean? Like just pretty much driving him insane. He couldn't take it no more, bro. And, I mean, I believe in CTE. You know what I mean?
Of course,
Uh,
of
yeah.
course.
But yeah, that was a comment that he shouldn't make, bro. It's just like you kind of putting yourself as the most hated players right now. Him, and Puka, you know, and
And you see, that's the thing too. Like, you
yeah,
think the stuff that Puka's doing is that a result of CTE or is that a result of like the social media era that we're in right now, that we've
you,
been in for a while already,
you
where
know,
people are willing to do like all
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
weird stuff and out of pocket stuff for clicks, for
But
likes, for shares.
how
Like,
I see it's the streamer era, bro. It all started with COVID, 2020, man. Everyone was locked in, right? So it's just like, what you gonna do, and that's where it started, bro. It just, and then now it's just like people just, seem like they should stream everything, and they kind of just have that fuck you attitude, just just the guys he's surrounding himself with. They have that that type of attitude. So he's bringing that cockiness out of him. He's a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong, but you know, uh, come on, man. I feel like you're just going with the crowd. I don't think you really being you. But if that is you, what I mean, I think you need to check yourself. You feel me? Cause being an asshole, man, it's no bueno. Not good luck, man.
Yeah, because
It's
dudes
not
come
cool.
fighting people and
Yeah,
headbutting people and
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then again, too,
you know,
money changes people. You feel me? If they weak like that, you know what I mean. I always told myself, man, I make the money. Money don't make me. You know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like a lot of dudes, they kind of, especially young dudes, just they have that money. They just don't know how to act. They just lose themselves. So I think that's what I see too. I'm just outside looking in. You know.
yeah, that could be a part of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
You don't feel like you have to answer to nobody no
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. And it's just like, look, look, let's do some praising, man. Like, look at Devontae David, man. He did it the right way. Players like that. You know what I mean? Like, just retired. This week, 14 years. Remember you wanted him. He was a free agent, but I remember you saying that you wouldn't mind getting Devontae David. For 1 year.
Yeah, definitely. Dude would have been great in the
Oh,
locker room.
oh yeah, man. Very underrated linebacker, bro. For reals.
You see that's another thing too. Like if he would, if you really pay attention, like this stuff's serious. Like we
Yeah,
don't really we forget. I feel like we as consumers we forget that these players are people.
yeah,
We're just worried about what can we get from them. Like are they coming every Sunday to bring us what we want? And
yeah, yeah. No, I
if you
feel it.
really there's all these players that they like they're retiring early, like they're giving up millions of
Yeah,
dollars, like um uh Jason Kelsey, you know,
yeah,
dude retired at the top, like, and they asked him like what's going on. Like, I want to be able to play with my kids.
yeah. Playing that center spot too. You feel
And
me? That D tackle, coming right at you. Linebackers coming straight to you. It's just gotta move your head around, and center's not easy, bro. Plus you gotta you're hiking the ball, and you just what I mean have to get up right away.
yeah, that's difficult. You got to be quick
Yeah,
with that. And then if you look at it, bro, all these experiments that these colleges do, for
yeah.
protection of the players and all that.
Um,
Bro, they're talking about on average how hard a NFL defender's hit is. You know,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
talking about like it's equivalent to hitting a brick wall at 30 miles an hour. And these dudes are doing it like they're taking snap. Like what's the average snaps in a game, bro? It's up there.
yeah. And that's the thing too, man. It's just like I love the sports so much because I grew up on it. I was just born to love it. Nothing could take it away from me. I want my son to play, of course, but at the same time, I want to protect him too. I just don't want him just to play just because I want him to play. I want him to play because he wants to play. You know what I mean? When he gets older, but should I be scared of
I feel
him
like
for
that's what
him?
it is
Yeah, but there's ways too that
because
what happened?
if like you said, you want him to play because he wants to play. So like if he
Yeah,
loves the game, he'll go when it's time for him to stop.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure, bro. And
He won't feel that outside pressure.
yeah, and there's different coaching strategies now, how to play the game. How to tackle someone safely. They're trying to do stuff like that. What I mean? It just they kind of take away. Good, not you know the full, game, but they took a lot of shit away, that you can't do nowadays, and it's just like, man, even the way, you tackle, like, behind the running back, if it's a drop tackle, it's a flag now, like, oh, fuck,
Yeah,
what are you supposed to do, man, you know what I mean? Let them score? I don't know, it's just too much fucking rule changing, and plus, they haven't even met up with every year they meet all the 32 owners, they meet up, and they vote on, a game, changing rules, so, that's after the draft. So I wonder what they're gonna change this year. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's gonna something's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, just
What I'm kind of cool with some of the rule changes, right? Because I think about it like this: in certain parts of the game, it makes it
yeah,
better.
yeah,
Like if you think about it, back in the day, you're a corner and you're facing against a wide receiver. All you got to do is pull the dude,
yeah, yeah,
and it will be
yeah.
okay, no flag, no. That's not skill.
Well, yeah, get a little bump and run.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
nowadays it's like you breathe on the dude too hard, and oh, it's pass interference.
yeah. It's a little,
Yeah, it definitely has its ups and
it's a
downs,
little
but
ticky tacky.
you know,
Some of the pass interference. I've been seeing. Like, are you serious? Like, what is he supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, make it make sense. I mean, it seems like the offense player kind of low key, pass interference more, a little bit more to defense. And they get away with that. You know what I mean?
yeah, one of the worst calls I probably seen with that was I think it was in 2000. The Chiefs were playing the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably had been one of the worst ones with that, but we'll see. Hopefully the rules get changed and you know things will get different.
Look at Puka's shit this year, bro. He allegedly bit a woman and said "fuck all Jews." He gets wasted after the Super Bowl and makes fun of Sam Darnold. Lies about going sky diving date with Sydney Sweetie or whatever her name is. Goes on live stream with Aiden Ross and agrees to do a anti-Semitic touchdown dance. His brother was arrested for stealing an NBA player's car. Says Myles Garrett is an NFL version of Giannis, from the Bucks. Um,
Yeah,
Goes on live stream and blames the NFL refs, saying that they made calls just to tell their friends they were on TV. Loses again a game against the Seahawks and immediately tweets about how bad the refs were. Goes on live stream and say the Chiefs missed the playoffs because Taylor Swift cursed, and then gets caught hanging around with multiple Instagram models and female influencers. And yeah, maybe the most hated player in the NFL right now.
yeah, and all that stuff self-inflicted.
Yeah, yeah, he's not doing himself any flavors, you know. Yeah, bro. I mean, like
You
I
know, you
said,
could.
man, it's the new age of these players, man. You know what I mean? They different, and you see go back to Devontae David, giving him his flowers because you see his press conference, he's tearing up and talking about his parents, how much they meant to him, and what the sacrifice they had to go through to put him in that spot from being the youngest out of his siblings. You know what I mean? Showing up to the football practice on the handlebars while his dad rides the bike. Making sure he goes to practice. You know, and everyone has their story, but there's no reason why you should be a fucking asshole. And just doing nonsense shit. There's only three players with 1,000 tackles, 40 plus sacks, and 30 plus takeaways over the last 30 seasons. That's Ray Lewis. That's Brian Urlacher. And that's Devontae David. That's just man. He did it so good. He did it with one team too, bro. So pretty much he got that contract right when he was a free agent the first time. And that's what I love too, man. When the guys stick with the team, their whole career, and they did it the right way, man. You know what I mean? They did it. Um, like the money didn't make them. They were still producing, even though they got their money. You know what I mean? And some free agents, once they get that bag, shit, they don't even know how to play no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like a lot of players are gonna be like that with that NIL money, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I don't know, man.
And see, the thing about this, right? I don't know if you seen it, but there was a conversation with Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, right?
Uh huh.
And Shador was talking to him, talking to Cam Ward, and was like, "Yeah, man, let's get on a song and this, and that." And he's like, "For
Yeah.
what?" He's like,
Oh
"I'm
yeah,
a
yeah. I seen
football
that.
player."
I did see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Football's first. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's Puka's problem right now, bro. It's like dude wants to do everything.
I like Sador. Do you like Sador? Or his antics?
Like,
You don't like.
no, I feel like dude earned a lot of his hate, and I feel like they just try to make it way too racial. You know,
Yeah. And
you're
man, how can you
you
hate
win
off of
50%
Dion
of
though,
your
man?
games in
And I feel.
college, and you're calling yourself legendary.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
still don't think he should have fell that far.
yeah,
I
yeah,
still don't think he should have fell. Like he put a target on his own back, and then was kind of crying when dudes when he started taking the hits. If you put
yeah,
yourself under a microscope, don't be upset when people look.
yeah. True facts.
Yeah,
I
I feel
think
like dude. I don't feel like he's a bad player at all,
nah,
though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
he went to a bad organization. He showed moments that he could possibly be that guy, and let's see what he does.
I mean, a lot of people hate off him because of Dion too. You know what I mean? And I don't understand how you can hate off of prime time. You know what I mean? Um, Dion, he loves the game, man. He respects the game. It's just a lot of old players that went to Colorado too. Loves to talk shit about Dion and what he's doing. But I mean, like I said, man, whatever you do, shit, people's gonna talk regardless. You know, I
I feel like
real
he
ones
was
love
trying to be
Dion.
too much like his dad,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but there was a difference. His dad was great.
yeah. I feel like you gotta earn it. You know what I mean? And
Dion talked a lot of shit, but he backed up every single word.
exactly. You know what I mean? Greatest corner of all
And
time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
even before he got to the NFL, dude, that was dude's whole persona. Like
Dude
he
played
even
nine.
said it, like
Dude played
I
9 years
treat
in
big
baseball
time.
too, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like, come on, like to do that, like man,
that's what I'm saying. Like the dude was great from the start. He was great.
yeah,
That's why he was able to say all that stuff because he backed up everything. And I kind of felt like Shador was kind of trying to take that persona, but
yeah.
it's like, bro, you're not producing the same way your dad did. Like you won
Oh,
what
different
half your
positions.
games in college.
Yeah, different
You're
positions
talking
too.
about legend.
Yeah,
You know, you're gonna
yeah,
change a franchise, and it's like, all right, bro, like possibly, but you can't sit here and say all this if
yeah.
your resume speaks before you do.
No, exactly. I mean, hopefully he does good, but you know, I mean, the Browns gonna be the Browns. No disrespect, but they just like the quarterbacks, man, quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, nonstop. You know what I mean? More than any team, and it's just like we'll see, man. You know what I mean? Shit, but let's get to the thing you wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? So what was it? The five.
Yeah, bro. So I'm thinking like,
Uh huh.
it could be with a multitude of different things, bro. I'm thinking we make our own little segment here. We
Yeah.
call it the fate of the fives. You
Okay.
know,
I like it. I like the name.
and we think of different things, and we put them out there, and
Yeah, yeah. So what you thinking right
we
now?
see. Honestly, bro, since we're talking about CTE and
Yeah.
everything, and I kind of feel like the players that end up the most is defensive players. So we could talk about defense.
Defensive line. You know, linebackers, secondary,
Let's go linebackers, bro.
linebackers.
Since Levante David, since he's retiring.
He's five. He's number five to you. I mean,
I mean, honestly,
I don't blame you because I
I'll put
mean,
dude up there.
no, that dude was very underrated. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. 14 years, with the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? He did them right, and they did him right. You know what I mean?
I'll definitely put dude up there, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's number
I
four?
mean, you kind of have to, of course. Like number four, I'm gonna put it. I mean, he's still an active player, but his resume speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Is Bobby Wagner, bro.
Oh yeah. He's still unsigned. Would you like him in the Vikings? I.
I mean, honestly, he put up what was 100 and over 110 plus tackles last year.
Yeah.
He's still producing at a high level, bro. And you could probably get him for a vet minimum.
I mean, with Flores, I think that'll be a good presence in the locker room. You know what I mean? Teaching the
Definitely,
young guys, Dallas
definitely.
Turner, as he grows, hopefully, Kennard, stays with y'all. You know what I mean? And I can see that, bro. I can really see that.
And then number three, bro. Like I would have him high,
Yeah.
but his career again with CTE, his career got cut short because
Yeah.
of that. Is Luke Kuechly, bro?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just based on the fact
yeah, no,
dude was a straight game, and he was on pace to break every record.
yeah, oh, yeah, no, for sure, bro. And just a man, fast ass white boy, bro. Just this dude was, so smart. He was quarterback on the field, bro. On defense, you know what I mean? Like very smart dude.
I feel like one of the most underrated football clips was when he was running
Yeah,
stride for stride with Julio Jones, a prime Julio Jones, bro, and he kept
yeah.
up with them.
Nah, yeah,
Julio jumped over him, but
yeah.
the fact that he was there to like break that
Nah, I'm
pass
saying
up,
yeah.
like
Like I
that
said,
just
Luke Kuechly was fast, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah. And then I mean this kind of hurts me to say as a Vikings fan,
Yeah,
but Urlacher, bro.
Urlacher. Yeah,
Urlacher number two.
yeah. No, I mean Urlacher, man, was him,
And
bro. You just like Kuechly, bro. I mean, I don't think that's fast like Kuechly, but yeah, you can kind of see the comparisons,
yeah, definitely.
And then number one,
Of course, bro. Ray.
yeah, of course, just a different
Like, I kind
animal,
of feel like
bro.
I mean, you just what how can you not,
One of the scariest
Was it
dude. Yeah, just a scary dude on the field, bro. Just you know, shout out to Eddie George, bro. I think the only player that wasn't really scared of Ray Lewis.
those battles
Yeah, oh
those battles were
man.
like
Oh fuck.
hey, but let's be real, like
Uh-huh.
hits that he was getting from Ray, that took some time off his career.
Oh, for sure, bro. he disliked him so much. It just
Eddie
those
George was
early
over there.
Tiny teams were good, bro. They had Steve McNair and Eddie George and them. Like, man, they would go back. They would go heads up. With the Ravens.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Rays. I don't think While no one's gonna play the game like Ray because they took all that shit away. You know what I mean? But yeah, I
You
don't
can't.
I don't think no one's passing Ray ever. Here's my five. It's a little different. You know what I mean? Six man. I say Urlacher. You know what I mean? He'll be my six man. But
Yeah.
um,
Okay. Let's go bring heat. Let's bring some heat if he's
yeah. Oh
six.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Five. London Fletcher, a player that don't get no recognition at all, bro. I mean, I
Yeah,
you know,
I completely, I completely overlooked that, man.
oh
That's a
dude,
sin right there.
dude, he's one of look at his stats, bro. He's right there with Ray, bro. Just a great under player, bro. Just like David. I kind of see them, you know, the same because they're so underrated, bro. You know what I mean? That 2012 class of linebackers, man. Fucking, what a great class, bro. David was on there, but Fletcher,
A
bro.
beast.
I think that they don't give him the credit too because he wasn't that big. He was a small linebacker. Played for like three teams, I think. But just a solid individual, bro. Number four, I'm gonna say number four. I'm gonna say this guy, but um, I'm gonna say Patrick Willis, bro. I know he had a short career too as well as Kuechly, but he was dominated too, bro. You know, you know,
Willis was, bro.
yeah, he was.
Patrick Willis was a linebacker.
Yeah, what I mean, he was just
Like, you
wow.
know how I feel about the Niners, bro?
Yeah,
But him
yeah.
and Navarro Bowman together,
Oh man, what a
that was
great duo, bro.
insane.
One of the
That
best
was
duos of all time.
good.
Top five duos. My favorite duos. Players.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
that was a hell of a time for them, the Niners, bro, on defense. Um, Number three, Derek Brooks. You know, fucking
Mm-hmm.
saying, shit, right? Buccaneers. They love their linebackers, bro. So, you know, like they expect, you to, to be up there, like with David and Brooks. If you're a Tampa Bay linebacker, but Brooks he was smart too, bro. You know what I mean? He was just longevity too. Still with one team. I feel like he slept on too. Number two, I'm gonna say Junior Seahawk, bro. Because he had like 20 plus years too. He was just a force, bro. You know, and even though he played for the Chargers, but he was the Chargers, bro. You know what I mean? He's the greatest Charger. No disrespect to LT or but he is the Chargers. You know what I mean? And number one's Ray, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Hey, you were in your bag right now. I can't even lie.
yeah, bro. Just I mean there's a lot of linebackers, bro. That I want to say too. But it just it's top five. Who will be your sixth man?
Oh, I don't know, bro. Honestly, I kind of might have to go with you on I kind of might have to go with you on Willis there, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Nah, for sure.
Like those dudes, like, and then you want to start talking about Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, and the Niners, and then those battles they had with the Seahawks, and
Shit, Alden
that was football.
Smith too. You know what I mean? Those 2 years. Man, well, I thought he was gonna be one of the greatest ever, bro. You know, that's why alcohol's
Yes,
a motherfucker, bro. You
another
know,
guy messed his career up with the
yep,
off-field stuff, all this shit.
exactly, dude. Man, them 2 years was crazy, bro. Just like, psh. But then again, he had Justin Smith too, holding down the blocks. You know,
Oh, Justin
yeah,
Smith, bro, I
man,
like that guy.
man, very underrated defensive tackle, bro. I feel like they don't really
Because he
give,
wasn't rowdy like.
his recognition. Strong fucking cornbread white boy, bro. Just, yeah, like literally unblockable, bro. For real. Shit, what about, if you had an all-time defense for the Vikings, what would it be? Would it be a 4-3-3-4? And name your all-time Viking defense.
Man, I don't even know if I want to do this right now.
A lot, bro. That's like
I can't. That's what I'm saying.
you're gonna
Like,
be
I don't know
missing.
if I can do
You're gonna be
it.
missing a lot of
Honestly with
players,
you.
bro. You know, would it be a 3-4 or would
Yeah,
it
but
be
I don't
four
even.
three?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if I could do that. I don't even know if I could do that right now.
Just imagine John Randall as a D line, Alan Page, fucking
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Kevin Williams, Pat Williams,
That's one thing about the Vikings. Like we've had some good players. The
Jared
Williams,
Allen.
like you said, the Williams
Yeah,
wall.
well, oh man, one of my favorite duos too. Man, I love it. Every time I
Yeah, but
made a
we've
team
had some.
on Madden,
I don't even.
I always put them together. Pat Williams, bro, just an underrated defensive tackle that no one brings his name up, bro. Seriously, they complimented each other so well, bro. Like, man, dude, Kevin Williams too, man. I feel like he should, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Easy.
Yeah, like those guys. They didn't even. They didn't need to talk and communicate.
No, hell no, dude. That bad. If I had a two defensive tackle like that, man, like you guys had it good, bro. For real.
Yeah, I remember those days, bro. I remember those days.
You know, uh, yeah, bro. You guys, Chris Dolman too. You know, what I mean, Hall of Famer. It's man, it's just so hard to name because you're gonna leave so much players out. But
That's what I'm saying. Like I would have to think about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
come to you next time.
yeah, yeah.
I'll have a
No, for
list for
sure.
you next time.
For sure, bro. You know,
But off the top of my head, bro, I can't do it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
what do you feel like you guys like you still feel the same the way you feel in the draft? You still feel that you want to go defense with that 18 pick? It's 18 pick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You still feel that way, or maybe wide receiver
100%.
since
No,
I don't know. Think about it though. Addison. Like you mentioned earlier. Um, kind of acting up. Especially you kind of see the picture of him wearing a Matt Forte jersey. And it's a Bear jersey. No matter
yeah,
yeah, it's still like low key weird. You know what I mean?
yeah. Even for a wide receiver, that's weird.
Yeah, yeah. Especially it's just does he want to play with his old teammate? Keller Williams. I don't know, but I kind of just the dark horse. I feel like you guys maybe could go wide receiver. You know, what do you think?
To be honest with you, bro, I feel like that's the last thing we need.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, for sure. But I feel like him
I
acting
feel
like
like
this though, too. You know, if you think about it,
What
though.
what we got right now, and then there's been talks about Hopkins, possibly
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen that.
reuniting with Kyler Murray, bro, and I wouldn't be mad at that, to be honest with you. And then, honestly, we've always been able to get good players,
Yeah,
from our practice squad. Like a lot of people don't know this because he wasn't really up there like that. And then, of course, Jefferson's there, but
yeah,
Nader's been with the Vikings, was with the Vikings for a minute, bro. That
yeah.
dude got developed.
The one that the Raiders got.
Yeah, that dude
Yeah,
was not a good player originally. He got developed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's what.
know,
That's why I was
his
kind of like
speed.
low key sour about the pickup. But I can't do nothing. Now he's part of the team, so hopefully he produce.
I like Nader.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
Nader.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Honestly, I would have rather have gotten rid of Addison than him. To be perfectly honest with you.
There's a lot of stuff about Caleb Downs. Man, the safety from Ohio State that he's gonna be falling
Yeah,
out. I say that'll be a perfect fit, especially with the hip man. Retire. I mean, he hasn't retired yet, right?
that's that's what I'm. I think he's going to, bro.
Why was it taking so long for him to kind of like say something?
Well, it's like you just think, bro. Like,
You think he's talking to another
what
team?
happened? No, no, no. He'll retire before he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think he's still like deciding if he even wants to retire.
You think he hasn't in him if he comes back one more year?
You see, that's the thing too. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, bro. Like, I've seen him, already like
Yeah.
miss tackles that he was making. Like, well, the dude's 37 years old. Like,
Yeah,
I get it, the
that's old for
slowdown.
football.
At the same time, like, he's still gonna get you picks. He's still gonna get you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tackles. He's still gonna do the job. But at the same time, it's like I said, like I've seen him, miss some tackles that he was making, even 2 years ago.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And
And honestly, he's on my like I love the dude as a player, bro. Like
yeah.
especially like as a Viking fan, like
Oh yeah, man.
Harrison Smith, bro. Like
He's legit, bro.
he's yeah,
Yeah, no, for real. See,
and
especially his rookie year, just crazy, crazy highlights, for real.
yeah, what was it, 7 picks?
Then he made a Pro Bowl too, huh? His rookie year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude
yeah.
was on fire, bro.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I kind of see Downs though. Caleb Downs. I mean, he's falling down, bro. They kind of have a safety from Toledo and Oregon in front of him now. So I don't know. I think if he's there at 18, you guys pick him up. But I mean, like, what do you truly want from this first and second round? Do you guys have a second round?
No, we have like no second round, and I think we got 2 or 3 thirds.
Who'd you guys give up the second round for?
Honestly, bro, I'm not even sure.
I mean, I feel like defensive tackle, you guys kind of have a hole, right? In it, maybe pick up a guy, DJ Reader from the Bengals. I mean,
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
I think that'd be a good pickup for you guys. I mean, I would
Yeah,
want
dude,
him for the
it's
Raiders,
passable.
to be honest. Yeah. Um.
What I want to know is what we're gonna do about like offensive line wise. Are we gonna get like a new coach? Like,
Yeah.
because on paper, bro, that O line should have been solid.
Yeah. I mean, big boys,
And
bro.
the guys that we let go, they had good seasons,
Yeah.
and we let them go because they were quote unquote ass. Like, So if the guys you let go end up doing good, and the
Yeah.
ones we bring in that we're doing end up doing bad, we have a problem, and it's not the players.
This is my mock draft. Now safety from Oregon. I can see you guys getting a safety, and then if it's not Caleb Downs, it's that guy. Thieneman from Oregon. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts of I feel like what you guys are gonna do. But yeah, bro.
Honestly, I'm good with that. I'm 100% good with that.
And I remember too going back to the Vikings. Just looking at some after what you said about Zimmerman, and dude was never happy, bro. I went back to just see interviews of him, and you're right, bro. He was a fucking grumpy bastard, bro. He seemed like fuck. It was hard to play with that guy. For that guy,
That guy should have never been a head coach.
like, bro, like, what was his problem?
Honestly, bro, I have no idea. I think some people are just like that.
Yeah. You did not understand him at
I don't
all,
know.
huh?
I
You
feel like
didn't.
what I kind of feel like with that is like I remember we were talking about Bud Grant
Yeah.
and how dude just naturally had that leadership and his players loved him and all that.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like Zimmer was the opposite. You know,
Yeah.
Zimmer was hated, so he kind of like in defense was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hate everybody first because I know everyone's gonna end up hating me.
Yeah.
And
You know, it's March, right? And of course, it's madness. I don't know if you've been seeing, but there's some Myles Garrett trade rumors. You know what I mean? Um, you think he get traded? If I was the Browns, I feel like you should trade him now. Just to, you know what I mean, worry about the future, bro. You know what I mean?
I feel like the only way you trade Myles Garrett
Yeah.
is if you're gonna go all in with Shador.
I feel like yeah, you know, um,
That's the only way you get rid of your best player.
to me, you gotta focus on having a good D line, and I feel like if he does get traded, I think the Eagles go all in with that. You know what I mean? Especially them being like a playoff team, because you kind of see like a pattern of these playoff teams. They got no problem giving that first round away. Look at the Rams, bro. Had
I was just about to say
yeah.
they've had one first round pick in 8 years.
Yes, bro. They got no problem whatsoever trading the first round pick. Fuck them picks. You know, I see the Eagles jumping on them, bro, giving them 2 first rounds for him. You know what I mean? I say that too because he's leveraged, bro, and it's same as Max Crosby. You're basically gonna get a trade like that, especially for Myles Garrett. Um, yeah, if they're gonna do it, I say do it now. You know,
Can the Eagles even afford him? How would
and
that even work?
I don't know. I mean, look at the Super Bowl team. When they won the Super Bowl, look at that team. They were so fucking stacked, bro. It was ridiculous. That defense was man. You know, so I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure people do some pay cuts. They lost a couple players too in the free agents. So I'm pretty sure the cap went up for them. But I see the Eagles jumping in on that. You know, they it's gonna be later first round picks. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like a top 5 pick. So
I mean they're paying 40 mil a year.
yeah, and the Browns, man, I feel like they need to be on what the Jets are on. I got so much picks, in hand, and just rebuild, bro. You know. I feel like they.
That's why I'm saying if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna do that, they gotta go all in on Shador, bro.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to if the Browns really believe that he's that guy.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be the next trade. You know, if you guys do trade Kennard, fuck, get that second, bro, that you guys are missing. You know what I mean? Or I kind of see the
Yeah.
Cowboys jumping. You know, Jerry's willing to trade.
Oh yeah.
But especially he loves taking players from the Vikings.
You had to go there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was just you guys really made that team, dude. It just man, it's just
You know, a couple of Vikings players actually ended up over there.
yeah.
Kendricks ended up over there. I think
Oh
Evill was
yeah,
over there for a little bit.
man. How come you guys don't? Would you want Kendricks back? I think Kendricks in the Niners now.
Yeah.
Man, hey, dude, that playoff game, when Kendricks came, last year, man, he was everywhere, bro. Like on that field, and they got him out off the couch, bro. He's a Fresno boy. To Edison.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's from Fresno.
I knew him and Anthony Barr were roommates in college. I knew that.
On UCLA. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's the thing too, man. You guys, drafting those dudes, you know, when you guys had them around that time, your defense was up there, right? Like top five.
Bro, it was those dudes were a problem together.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendricks, he's still good.
I mean, what he did for the Niners in that playoff game, shit. He was everywhere, bro. He was the player of the game, in my eyes. But yeah, man, like
I like the dude, bro. He's a good player. He's
yeah,
just he's kind of. I mean, 11 seasons.
yeah,
People play a lot longer than that.
man. Breaking news, rest in peace to Baron Robbins, the Raiders center, the one that that was missing in the Super Bowl. The night before the Super Bowl, I went to Mexico. Remember that story? They're all pro center.
Yeah.
He just passed
Uh-huh.
away.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just like man, it's just him too, man. Just rest in peace to him. He was a good player, bro. And he had an all pro season that year. And for him to be MIA, during the Super Bowl, the night before the Super Bowl, go to Mexico, because it was in San Diego that year. And, yeah, man. That kind of like fucked that game up too, man. That,
Hey,
uh-huh.
The Raiders just got the craziest lore, man.
Yeah, bro. Every season, bro. It just,
The craziest lore, bro. I swear to God.
but us Raiders fans, we kind of like it like that way because I was a Maverick, and he was just, no nonsense guy. They hate him because, he was real, bro. He wasn't even the richest owner, bro. You know what I mean? But he was the most, respected owner because, he didn't give a fuck, you know. And it's just like,
Yeah, I remember. I had watched this video recently. I was
yeah,
just skimming across NFL videos, and dude almost drafted John Elway, or not drafted, but traded for John Elway.
yeah. The 1983 draft, Dan Marino was in that same draft. Um, Dan Marino and John Elway shared the same agent, so and then fuck, bro, it just If we would have had John
Yeah, the league
Elway,
blocked.
yeah. And then what they do, they gave it to Denver, bro. The fucking division rival. That was just kind of like a kick in the balls to Al, like, okay. And, you know, you know, you see what we did to Elway, in his beginning years. But, he kicked our ass, bro, in the 90s. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have had Dan Marino that draft. Also, too, Jim Kelly was in that class too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think like 6 quarterbacks got drafted in the first round. That, yeah, it was a crazy draft, bro. I wonder if this draft's gonna be crazy, bro. A lot of people sleep on the offensive players in this draft. There's more defense, but it's not too crazy of a quarterback draft, so I don't think it'll be too crazy, but we'll see. It kind of just hopefully, we move up, or I don't know. What if the Raiders do trade Matt Crosby again and get their first rounds for like a team like the
I think
Cowboys
Crosby's
or
going.
something?
I don't think Crosby's going nowhere.
Yeah, he kind of but I mean that'd be crazy if that does happen. But I feel like
It would be definitely.
But he's not gonna get traded. But I feel like Myles Garrett is though, bro. You know, yeah. Say if Shador don't do good, right, this year, they got all that
Mm-hmm.
picks. They say they do trade Myles Garrett, right? They get 2 firsts, 1 second type shit. Um, fucking who's next year in the draft? Fucking Arch Manning. You know, they go all in with him. I mean, they got the picks.
You think he'll go to the Browns, bro? Realistically,
I mean,
you don't think he'll pull the Eli?
yeah, maybe. I mean, it is the Manning family. I guess they're gonna pick and choose what where they want. But I don't know, maybe. But it's gonna probably be the Browns, the Jets, or the Cardinals. That's probably gonna have a top 5 pick, and it's gonna need a quarterback. You know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can honestly see that being the bottom, being on the bottom of the league.
Yeah, yeah, man. Just I don't know, bro. It's just it's there's so much to get into, but it's just like sometimes it's just like that's a blank space. So like I know there's something else. I know there's something else, but you know, are you
Sometimes it's just hard
yeah,
topic. You know?
especially around this time too. I mean, baseball's coming. It's pretty much back. Season opening games were like what yesterday.
Yeah, I turned on the Yankees and Giants game.
Yeah,
It
Yankees
was
won
top
that
of the
game, right?
6th. Giants were down by 7.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I shut it off.
Who's your baseball team?
I like the Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah.
Do you feel any kind of hope for the Giants this year?
I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't really follow baseball much anymore.
Yeah.
Just from what the little that I do pay attention to, like honestly, no.
It's mostly playoffs. That's with me too. I mean, I used to watch baseball highlights off of Sports Center all the time, and it just feels like it's not enough star power how it used to be. 'Cause there's so much names that I could name. Time we watch baseball, and
Yeah, like for me too. When I was getting into it, the
yeah.
Giants had squad.
Oh yeah, bro. The early
I'm talking
2010s.
like
Yeah, dude.
bro, Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford,
100%.
Gregor Blanco, Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
You know.
Bumgarner.
Yeah, Madison. Can't forget Madison and Tim Lincecum.
You
Like,
know, Pence. You know, just
yeah,
good.
I remember when they traded for Hunter Pence.
Yeah. Just good overall
I
role players, bro. Just just that was the team, bro. And I remember you
Yeah,
guys, man.
Pablo Don.
Yeah, Dodger fans. I mean, they still hate y'all, but man, they hated y'all bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
ugly. It was ugly, bro.
yeah. It was a crazy time, huh?
I'll never forget when the World Series, bro, when Pablo Sandoval was switch hitting on Justin Verlander.
Yeah, young Justin Verlander too. You know.
Yeah, you're talking about Justin, bro.
Yeah.
And Justin Verlander, he was a good sport about it. He wore a shirt that said "Property of Pablo Sandoval."
Good sense of humor.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I can't even be mad at that. Like,
yeah.
I think it was a three home,
Shit, man.
two left, one right, or two rights and one left.
You know, hopefully, man, I'll probably go to the A's game this year. I went to a Dodger and A's game last year. They beat the fuck out of us in LA. But I'll probably go because they said we got the fifth best lineup in the league, man. We're young, man. So hopefully we get the young guys together and do something because you know it hurts being an A's fan, bro. It kind of low key, drainful. Like we have a
Yeah,
good player and then you can't get used to it because he's gonna get traded. So
he's
yeah. So you know, hope
well. I went to my first baseball game a couple years ago.
yeah.
The Giants and the Dodgers, and it was in Dodger Stadium.
Oh shit, yeah.
And honestly, bro, like it went way different than I thought it was gonna go. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to the Dodger fans, like they showed me nothing but love,
They
bro.
showed you love. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I had my Giants hat on, Giants
yeah.
shirt on, bro. They showed me.
I know, man. That there's a video of me over there at the Dodger Stadium, and shit, you can see me from the only one what red and green. It was a blue sea, and then you see that little green. I swear, bro, I probably only see 5 A's fans, bro, during that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was over there too, bro. Like
Yeah.
they take over their
Oh
stadium,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
but they show love though.
I mean, shit, they might get a three-peat, man, again. I mean, as much as I don't like it, but I feel like they are. They're just too good, man. But yeah, shit. Anything else you want to take a pick at before we end this episode? Like, what you thinking, man? Like,
Honestly, bro, I just kind of hope that these players they find mentorship,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like that's
yeah,
kind of
for sure.
Cam's problem is the Giants. They're real young right now.
And you know what, bro? I love that you say that because you care about the sport so much that you want the future players to not fuck it up, and it just like I feel like you know, especially social media, there's a lot of fucking haters like, oh, I hate this guy, I hate that guy, but it's just like
Yeah.
they're human too, man, and it's just like
Hmm.
it kind of sucks for you to be on that end, of the stick and just like get shit on, just you know. And I mean, I don't know if you seen that video of Odell, our good buddy Odell. He had everyone leave the plane. He didn't want to leave the plane, so everyone else had to leave the plane because of him. That guy. I mean,
Yeah, real
yeah.
comfortable.
I feel like it started with that guy, dude. I mean, there's been plenty of was, you know, before that, but it just like kind of started with him.
For me, what it is, bro, is I seen Percy Harvin fall apart, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. Percy was just gifted too, man. Just pure
There'd be
talent.
games, bro, where this guy was unguardable, and then someone would piss him off, and oh, my head hurts. I'm not going back in.
It's migraines, right? He had like bad
Migraine.
migraines.
It's
Yeah,
migraine. Yeah. And this dude's just unguardable, bro, and
yeah.
he's doing,
No,
you
dude,
know, and
he
we're
was
gonna win the
legit,
game
dude.
because of him.
Yeah,
So, and I saw that guy quit on his team multiple times, bro, and then eventually we just got rid of dude,
that's
sent him
when
to
you.
Seattle.
That's when you had him and Sidney Rice, huh?
Yeah, Bernard Berrian was over there too.
Yeah. You guys gave him a bag, but he really
Yeah,
didn't
and
do
then
nothing for
Vasante
y'all.
Shanko, that was good
Yeah,
offense too.
yeah. With young AP. No, yeah. I remember.
You know, so you see these players, bro, and like the thing about it is good players. Like I said, the NFL is selling a product, bro.
Yeah,
Like good players, they bring good good football
yeah, man.
and you get to watch it, you get to witness it, and it's like
And
in a
it,
way you kind of feel robbed because you start thinking like, man, what could have been?
yeah, and
It's almost just as bad as an injury. In a way, it's like an injury.
yeah, no, it is, bro. I mean, for example, look at that rookie from last year, from the Atlanta. Look at the shit he got into. Stalking his ex girlfriend. Just
Yeah, he tried to
crashing
kill
his
her,
car.
right?
Yeah, car.
He ran into her car and
Yeah. You know what I
everything.
mean? And that's like, come on, man. Is this the generation the players are, gonna get? Like, you know,
Honestly, yeah, bro, probably.
I just feel like social media just has a powerful hold on a lot of these young guys, bro. And, they gotta understand
Yeah,
that, that shit ain't real, and, whatever you do has a limelight on, now, you know, and it's either gonna, be good or bad, and you guys have a choice to make that happen, and a lot of them are picking wrong decisions, bro.
yeah. I feel like veteran presence, bro, is just it's becoming more and more
Exactly,
important to the
and
game.
that's why it's sad too. See that even though he's not on my team, but seeing like going back to Devontae David, you can tell he was that presence, that OG in that locker room for the Buccaneers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Well, see, check this out too, right?
yeah,
Because Lamar Jackson, he was kind of a wild card,
yeah.
and when he got drafted, RG3 was on the Ravens,
Yeah. I remember that.
and he made a post and he tagged him in it, talking about I can't wait to work with you, this, and that.
Yeah.
The Ravens were gonna get rid of dude, but I'm saying like just the willingness to mentor,
Yeah,
to teach,
exactly, bro.
and
That's part of
how would
the game
Lamar
we don't
Jackson
see.
have turned out if he didn't have RG3 there?
Exactly. These guys are making millions of dollars, bro. This is life changing. Um, shit. Once they enter the league, act right, man. Act like you guys been there before. Just don't ruin it for you guys, man. It just make a difference. It just it just sucks. You see a lot of players. They butcher during their time in football, and then once they're out of football, they realize like, damn, I could have done things a little bit better, and I'll just be foolish, being in my own way, and just too stuck in my ways, you know what I mean? And it just, I feel like it's just me, I feel like God should be in the locker room, you know. God should be in the locker room.
Yeah,
Just
nobody's perfect.
yeah,
Nobody's
no one's
perfect.
perfect.
Everybody's gonna make mistakes. But some of the shit, like you're telling me that somebody has to tell Puka not to go bite people.
No, exactly, dude. You know, and
Is this what it's boiling down to?
man, this is today's football, man. This is tomorrow's superstars. You feel me? This is but back in the days, man, they got wild stories too, though, bro. It was just
Yeah,
unseen, and
they kept a lot of them.
yeah, they kept it inside, and it's like what your dad, says, don't tell on yourself. These dudes are really just telling on themselves, and
Hundred
just
percent. Not
just like
they're
damn,
recording what they did do.
like that's your true character. Oh man, that doesn't look good.
Oh, I knew that this was going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Years and years ago, MySpace first came around, right?
yeah. You predicted this?
There was a guy. There was a guy that he stole a fur coat, like a nice jacket from this lady,
Yeah,
and he stole $400 from her, right?
yeah.
300-400 bucks. An hour later, he posted a picture of himself wearing the jacket and flaunting the money.
And he was a football player.
No, he was a regular person.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what I'm saying
yeah,
is,
yeah.
we go from to these people recording themselves, doing all this crazy stuff, like and compromising positions, saying compromising things. Like
Yeah.
it's it's. I don't even honestly. I don't even know what to call it. Like, is it self destructive behavior? Is it just idiocracy? Like
It's just a maturity level,
I don't know.
much level, bro. As like look at us, bro. When we turn 18. Well, I'm gonna say my personal, experience. When I turned 18, I thought I knew it all, bro. Whatever. But I realized I didn't know shit, bro. And I left at 18 because in my mind, growing up, that's what you're supposed to do. You gotta leave the house at 18. So me having a free spirit, no, I left the house. I got kicked out my senior year. They let me in. Um, I didn't know what to do. I felt like I let my mom down. So me, you know, showing my face, with my mom there, not being in school, especially my senior year, I feel like, like a burden. So I left the Job Corps, bro. But I left to a place that I never really heard of, San Bernardino. I could have easily went to San Jose because I got a whole bunch of family up there, you know what I mean? And but I just went to, uh, San Bernardino because I had a girl on, on my MySpace. She was from Santa Ana, and I think, oh shit, that shit's close. Okay, just thinking about, with my different head instead of, me and my right head, and just went down there, bro. It was probably scariest, most funnest, most um, life teaching thing that I ever went through, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm
An
glad that
adventure.
yeah, bro. It was a venture, bro. That it was crazy, dude. I did shit that I never, I haven't even spoke on. Things happened to me that I wish that fuck, it was low key fucked up, but it had to happen for me to to know. And sometimes it's just living off experience, bro. Just having you grow into life, and that's what we all really doing if you let it. We're just living off experience. We really don't know nothing, and like you said, these young players, they think they know it all, but they don't know shit either, bro. You know.
Yeah, we're all just trying to make our own way.
Yeah, man. It's just, hopefully they get right, bro. And I guess this is that episode, the scatterboat episode. You could call it. Yeah, that was a good opening. With that, bro, for real, cause it's kind of having me think like, hope shit, man, like just be thoughtful, man. You know, just on on touchy subjects like that, especially he's a professional, bro, and shit's gonna catch up to him, But he apologized, bro, and I hope it's water under the bridge, and hope he succeeds and do what he has to do, and learn from it. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, bro, you know what I mean. If there's nothing else, shit, we gonna hit him up, with another one next week. So if you ain't got nothing else, shit, we can save it for next week. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that question you asked me
What question was that?
about my all-time Vikings
Yeah, yeah,
defense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Next episode, you give me that, and then I'll give you my Raiders offense going up to against that Viking defense, and then vice versa.
Okay,
I'll do that,
I
Raiders
like that.
defense, and then you do that Vikings offense. You know?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I mean that offense gonna be scary though. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, man, it's just like it's always a pleasure. You know what I mean? Talking sports with you, man. Just talking live, whatever it is, and it's just, man, you want to leave anything, to the audience? You got something to say?
Nah, bro, just like I said, bro, it's always good to do this.
No,
You
yeah,
know?
no, for sure, bro. And it's just like, what I mean? We just putting ourselves out there. We're just two regular dudes, that loves, sports and, just love talking sports. And I feel like, we don't make it boring. We try to, make it interesting and, say stories back in the day that people was not aware of, and I feel like, um, we can bring, other dudes along and, have an open mind on, how they feel about, this and that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, bro, like shout out to you, shout out to your team for having me on. Like
Yeah, shout out to them,
always a
man.
pleasure.
Yeah, I always thank them, man. I always just like a good support system. Right before I got you on, man, we were just talking about a good support system, man. And I realize not everyone's gonna support us, man. You know what I mean? And that's just in life in general. You feel me? And it just it is what it is. But as long as you love yourself and you keep going, we stay in motion. What can really stop us? You know,
Yeah, like with
nobody.
that,
Just
bro,
us.
like you can't pay attention to the people that don't support you because
Yeah,
that takes away from the attention to the people that do. Those are the
exactly.
ones that deserve that.
Exactly, man. And then and there's unknown people that we don't know that support us, and shout to them, and like I said, shout to the people who don't, or choose not to support us. They kind of just play front street, and I know what it is, bro. But it's okay. You know what I mean? I love I love my life. My life, the man in the mirror is my only opponent. What I mean? Competition. I mean? He's the only guy that I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. And me proving
Absolutely.
and realizing that God is the way because we're nothing without Him, bro. Seriously, life is gonna be hard if you don't have God right there with you. Anything's possible with Him, and He's making this possible. Like, man, we always wanted to be sports, anchors, and hey, this is a good start,
Yeah,
right?
we've been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, for sure. And then we always wanted to be the next Stuart Scott, Rich Eisen, whoever, what I mean, Stephen A. And look, man, we ain't in those companies, but hey, look at man, it's a good
You got to
start.
start somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
Built in a day.
Exactly. And yeah, man. Shout, shout out to Frankie, man. What a good, great co-host he's been these last episodes, and he's gonna continue. Being on this, and we will get better, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, thank y'all. You know, I appreciate y'all, and shit, stay gritty and stay wakeful, and just the wakeful grit. And it's your boy Carlito Grand, and your boy Frankie, and shit, man, much love. God bless y'all, and shit, we out.